And we are actually very proud of what we have achieved in the first 18 months of such a complex project. The primary focus, and it took us quite a lot of time to be able to converge on the overall architecture of the CASTOR framework. And I want to highlight this because this is not usually the case in many projects, but here we are talking about a complex architecture that needs to be able to operate in the overall compute continuum. Essentially, one of our core design principles when we started this initiative, not only after the beginning of the project, but also when we envisioned this during the proposal preparation phase, is to be able to provide a framework that can operate in a real-world deployment and in a real-world scenario. So we don't want to simply have an architecture that, yes, can achieve all of the requirements on paper, on theory. It can provide some interesting papers, but actually we have been able to have a practical architecture that we are pretty confident as we are entering the second half of the project. It will allow us to essentially be able to do real-world testing in the context of our use cases that we will also talk in a while. Now, considering this, our core design principles also, if we put it in the context of what is the endmost goal of CASTOR, to be able to embed trust into the next generation internet, is essentially to put all of the layers of the networking stack and all of the time we'll actually be fully aligned with the standards, both in the context of the latest HexaX activities that they are defining, the latest breakdown of the layers, but also considering activities that they are pushing to the specification of the new 5G, of the new 6G, where we are talking about considering a shared infrastructure, shared by all of the network operators for being able to accommodating their customers. So the main design principle is to be able to have all of these layers being enriched with the CASTOR extensions, working in synergy, working in tandem. So all of the definitions and the specifications we have done, they are following harmonized set of interfaces being pushed by the standards. And this allows for CASTOR to be agnostic, essentially, to the network operator that is going to use it. It can be accommodated and it can be integrated by everyone. And this not only allows for the interoperability of the solution, but also it allows to be able to be adopted for legacy infrastructures. These two were the primary design principles that we wanted to achieve. And I think that we achieved that with our architecture, and this unlocked our entrance to the second phase, where now we are also almost done with the design and implementation of the building blocks, of the components that comprise the overall architecture.